I lived there for 9 years. I mean, lived around Spain, many places, Valencia, Salamanca, Leon, Madrid, Mallorca, Tenerife, whatever. Then went to the UK because I got a job that put me there. Spent there 5 years. Then I did my MBA there in Barcelona, but while I was living in the UK. Then I finished that. I got headhunted by a Swiss company and they brought me to Switzerland. And I've been there for 3 years now. And I'm doing another master's. And this is, I don't know, everything has been like very accidental.
What's your second master's in?
It's sports governance.
Wow.
Sports governance.
Wow.
And the first one is in an MBA.
That's amazing.
Cricket is the ultimate sport. I know. Cricket is cool actually. I've been to a couple of matches. I kind of get it, but yeah, it's kind of cool.
Cricket's alright. Like, how do you know?
You're a danger.
Oh my god, your Instagram is Brown Trump now? That's hilarious. Naveen, are you really like big into the Trump? Because my friend's got a Twitter account with 40,000 Trump followers. It's called Trump_support. And he's refusing to use it because I think he's no longer supporting Trump, but he does want to sell it. It can be used by the campaign. I mean, not like they need it, but...
Is Trump going to run in the
Oh yeah, he's running. He's announced. I mean, it's him versus Joe Biden. That's what's going to happen.
So have the Republicans already chosen him?
No, he doesn't matter. He runs the whole thing. Like, there are no Republicans. It's a non-existent party at this point.
Cool. So it'll be Trump and then JFK.
No, Kennedy will. Maybe, yeah, I guess, but I bet you he doesn't show up in all the states, so it's going to be a huge disaster for him and the Democrats, and Trump is going to end up winning.
But who's going to run for the Democrat?
Biden.
Have they chosen one?
Yeah, Biden is he's the default. It's not like they can choose a new president. He is the president.
When is it going to be confirmed?
It's already confirmed. He's running.
Oh, so you mean when he's the president and he's a Democrat, you cannot choose another candidate?
Correct. And I have big news. I want to make an announcement. I'm running for office here in Illinois as a Republican. What the fuck is it called?
Dude, you ain't shit. You're about to file for bankruptcy.
I know, but that makes me a more viable candidate in the eyes of the electorate.
Okay, you're like really part of the populace.
It's called a committee. It's called a committee man. That's the name of the title. But supposedly I'm in a district where there's like you have to get a lot of signatures and there's a stronghold. But if I can take this position, we can try to flip Illinois back into a Republican state. And that's the goal, is to get as many, because apparently
you have to take care first of your bankruptcy and then you can run for office.
No, that could last years, because these lawsuits, they go for 8 years on average in the Cook County court system. So
if you're going through this process, can you be eligible really?
I'm not a criminal. I have mortgage debt that the fucking zombie bank is trying to collect on. It's not like I did anything wrong. What they're doing is criminal, and I'm filing federal complaints against them. It's not like I'm running for an elected position. It is an elected position. I will be on the ballot, but it's not like I'm a representative. I'm just a committee man of the Republican Party in Illinois.
But you're saying that the Republican Party is not existing.
Well, that's why I'm running in Illinois, because we're going to try to subversively take it all over, because the Republican Party is corrupt here. It's all co-opted by the Democrats. They've infiltrated. They're a bunch of fake Republicans.
Oh my god, your country is a sinking ship.
I know, I'm trying to get on the top of the ship. I'm trying to get to the top mast, so I'm the last one who has to touch the water.
Why don't you run for office as well, maybe?
the signatures at the grocery store today or tomorrow.
How many signatures do you need?
Couple hundred.
100?
Couple.
The run for what office? The no elected?
Mr. Committee Man, that'll be my title.
Wow. Well,
You're just gonna troll everyone.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be very professional.
I was voting therapist. I will vote for the therapist.
I don't need your vote. I need your money.
Decision?
No, it's
And
not.
how much?
You don't get paid.
Block him!
Who?
Therapist, you ask him a question, he refused to answer.
I'm listening.
You didn't ask a question, did you?
No, nobody asked a question. He's delusional at this point.
I think you're in the Matrix there, Janice.
No, not a Matrix, I'm delusional. Nothing going on in Clubhouse, I guess.
Well, I don't know. Vinny was having a music room. I entered it, but he was in the Matrix, so it was very shitty. And I don't know. Then I went with the faggot in the nightclub bathroom. But little he started yelling at someone. So I came here to open a room, and now he came about it. Now, yeah, therapist was telling us about his running for office and how he's gonna file for bankruptcy. He's still unsure in what order he will do it.
Well, yeah. I guess this is what happens when you don't fix the motor on your boat.
Oh yeah, he was telling us also about his boat that he needs to sell it, but it's getting the water is getting frozen, so he doesn't know he's gonna want to buy it. So
I might abandon ship and just leave it because I never actually transferred the title to my name, so the previous owner is going to be the one who gets fined, not me. And
I don't know why you ran with Diego. You and Diego would have been such good friends.
we are good friends. We've chatted on here for years, but that's my point. Is it's a clubhouse friendship. He's got a wife and kids. I'm looking for a wife and kids. I'm trying to stay alive. You know, God bless him, and God bless you. I mean, you have more kids, I think, than anybody. What's mentally wrong with you? Why in the world would you decide to have so many children?
God.
You're not Elon Musk. You can't afford that. You need $8 million to raise those kids.
Every single one of these kids is healthy and thriving. And I bet you that they're going to be taller than you are. So fuck off.
Okay,
Stack
well,
up.
mazel tov.
Fuck off.
I'm 6'3". You got a lot of steak, New York strips. You're gonna have to feed those fucking kids. My dad fed me off of a Chicago cop, salary, and he did a good job. So the
Guess
boy
what?
nice shalom.
And guess what? I am fucking feeding them. And you know what? I have to compete with the fucking high fructose corn syrup, corn shit. And once they get a taste for it, they don't want anything else.
I had Doritos and Twizzlers for dinner last night, and let me just say, I don't do that often, but I am about to have some Fruity Pebbles, and I am literally turning into a sugar crystal myself.
Okay, all that stress you bring.
How many kids do you have, therapist?
I might have a few out there somewhere in a couple different states. I'm not sure. I've lost contact.
Disgusting.
I don't know. There were those that time, the other time, this time. Who knows? It's possible. It's possible I shoot blanks. I'm the luckiest man alive.
Would that make you a lucky man? To each their own.
Listen, there's no greater satisfaction in life than making love to a beautiful woman on the corner of a bed.
I respectfully disagree.
why in the corner?
He
Because,
wants to be able to stand on the ground and get a good plan.
no, geometrically speaking, the Star of David can only be accomplished through a white sheet and a hole on the corner of a bed as a beautiful Shekhinah rides my kacham.
Oh, you must be really upset about what's happening in Israel.
Yes, my cousin Rachel was kidnapped. She's in the Gaza Strip.
You're so full of shit.
I'm serious. My dad went over there with the Marines. They're gonna liberate her and kill those terrorist bastards once and for all. We've already started divvying up the plots on the beach in the Gaza.
For the reconstruction kibbutz.
Yes, it will be just like Miami one day, but better.
Because it will be Jewish. It's hard to get kids to eat steak. Much more difficult than I thought it would be.
So I went out on this date yesterday with an 18-year-old who's interviewing for a bartending position, and I said, do you know how to make a Manhattan? And she didn't know, and I was like, do you know how to make a White Russian? She knew that one, but she didn't know how to make a Mai Tai. And I said, sweetheart, what's the source of joy? And she said, what? I said, what is the source of joy? And she said, I have no idea how to make that.
Well, did you get into her pants or not?
No, I was a total gentleman. I offered to drive her to her job interview, and she said, sorry, I can't get into a car with somebody. I don't know who you are. I'm like, I'm trying to get you a fucking job. I don't want to kidnap you or rape you. Like, your tongue is all spotted and your teeth are disgusting. Come on, let me help you get this job, you little rat.
Oh, please, look at that. This is why you're single, dude.
She said she was a model. I said, a model? And she said, yeah, I want to tattoo my face. I said, you want to tattoo your face? I'm not making this up.
I think you're compensating. I really do. I think you're so superficial that you try to compensate with this interest.
I've seen your face, Diogenes. If I were to bring you to Israel and we were to ask the prison guards, who's the bigger yid, they'd say you for sure. So don't tell me about this Jewish compensation dispensation.
I'd say anything about Jewish compensation.
You're the biggest looking Ashkenazic I've ever seen. You're like king of the Khazars over there, so you better watch what you say about these Jews.
This has everything to do with your obsession with the way others look.
I'm just being facetious, but yeah, she needed to go to the dentist. And I only say that because I went to the dentist, and oh my god, my teeth look great again.
Google is down almost 90%.
Really? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I don't even look at the stock market. I actually did just buy a big position in Google, but I sold it. Because I was like, wow, I've never seen it. This is a big drop. That's a lot of market cap. That's 1.6. That's 200 billion they lost today. Damn. Yeah. It looks like it could drop to 120.
Yeah, and not only that, but you know, if this could be what kicks off the crash, because those seven Google, Apple, Microsoft,
the whole thing is tied to them. Everything, because they literally you can have 3,000 companies, 5,000 companies equal one company, and if the big one goes down, it doesn't matter. Those 5,000 aren't going to support the market. So you're right. You're right. People are going to be in for a big shock when they lose 20% again.
Well, not only that though, the entire market for the last year has been completely propped up by the big seven, the S&P 7. So this is a very ominous sign, more ominous than typically. Yeah, I know.
My God.
Yeah, you know why? Because they're spending all this money on AI.
I was being fucking trolled by some idiot.
Who did that?
Some fucking Indian who said, "Excuse me, sir, I'm calling to see if you are interested in buying some of my goopy."
they're still predicting that the stock can go to 155 a share,
Whatever.
160 a share. I don't know. Google is the most amazing company in the world, and it's really the only place you can go if you're a sophisticated entrepreneur or if you're a big company. It's like the starting place for everything.
No.
It's true. It's because they're the communication paradigm, and I've worked for companies, and I know people that have green buckets with Google, and they're
Coming
rich.
to the awareness, like you made a decision very different than the decision that I made. So
We share the same present moment. It's not too late for me. I can still find a Shekhinah. I mean, I just signed up for a Jewish matchmaking event.
You might have. Look, I'm not saying you didn't go the right way, but I distinctly remember my ability to mystify women and realizing that would be taking advantage of them. I don't think you feel any guilt about that.
To mystify, as in to say that that women are goddesses?
Well, so what you can start to do is you can start to use words in such a way that they begin they begin to allow you to manipulate them, to play them,
No. I'm hypnotizing. This is self-hypnosis. Listen, I had a girl on my boat who wouldn't get off. She was crazy. She was blackmailing me, and she was going bananas. I grabbed her phone and I walked off the dock.
Yeah, and so you don't feel bad about hypnotizing women. I can't help but
I'm not hypnotizing anybody. You're insane. This girl didn't even like me. Like she did. She thought I was annoying. I wouldn't shut up. She brought some weed. I smoked, and man, I just wouldn't shut up.
You're making it about a specific woman. It's not about a specific woman. It's about the recognition that you don't feel guilt or remorse when you take advantage of someone. When you take what you want.
I've never taken advantage of anyone. I've always been a gentleman. In fact, I feel like I'm the man whore, and women are using me for my dick. That's the truth of the earth. I would love for these girls to keep calling me. They don't call you. It's a pursuer-pursued thing, Vinny. I'm unfortunately, in this 2023 paradigm, as the pursuer, I'm the victim here. I'm not the one trying to, take advantage of anyone. I'm putting myself out there to be taken advantage of, like a sacrificial Christ.
Like this to try and gaslight your friends.
Why do you think that the cock is vertical? It's because the crucifix. The horizontal represents the woman. The upper deck represents the phallic energy of the man. I am fulfilling my destiny.
Let that off means go so you guys don't start yelling over each other.
That's it. It's people who are comfortable with this. They don't have second thoughts about this. Very alpha, very Chad, very good for them. And I sometimes wonder, what is that like to not feel the guilt, to not feel the remorse, to not feel like I'm kind of encouraging you to do something when I realize that what I really want has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with who you are, where you've been, where you're going. It has nothing to do with our future together, with a world that we could build, with a meaningful union. What does it feel like? Because I can't. I feel the guilt. I feel the remorse. I feel shame. I feel like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I feel this obligation to my own detriment. I feel compelled to share who I am and what I am, and to expose myself. And I got kicked out of a few bars. Honestly, though, I think you made a different decision, therapist. I think you're one of those guys who doesn't feel any guilt or remorse. You wake up the next day.
Truthfully told, it has been difficult. It has been. I've had many, many horrible depressive nights where I wanted to die. And for days I couldn't move, and I developed a sore on my rectum. It's called a skin tag. I couldn't move for days. The depression was so overwhelming. I laid in bed and drank Coca-Cola and ate Papa John's pizza. I thought I was ready to die.
If I may, as the number one alpha male on Clubhouse, having empathy is the truest sign of a good leader. Only betas don't have empathy.
Empathy is like friendship and kindness. It is one of the Sephiroth of the 10 divine attributes.
I got a
Well, I
question
believe
there.
empathy is overrated. I mean, empathy is what gets you under control of people.
I got a question, therapist. When do you expect the paperwork to show up for you? Your call up to the Israeli Defense Force.
I've already been offered a slot to go. I denied them my virility. I said, why would I give it to you if I didn't even let Uncle Sam get in my anus? I still have all my body parts. My brain works.
Google is
Why
now
didn't you accept it? You could get out of your bankruptcy.
Well, when I served Uncle Sam in the 1st of the 118th Infantry as an 11 Bravo infantryman, I served with a young soldier from Philadelphia. His name was Dragon. His girlfriend was beautiful, and they were hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. They ran all kinds of scams and went to nightclubs and rang up about $500,000 in debt. And so his punishment and his debt was absolved in bankruptcy court as long as he agreed to join the U.S. infantry. And he did, and he died. And I was on a march with him, and he fell out of the company, and I said, get the, what are you doing? And he fell down on the grass, like he walked off the street into the grass, and he started eating the grass. I said, what are you doing? Get the fuck up. You know, this is it. We're almost there. And he started eating the grass. And I said, drink some water. And I touched his canteens, and his canteens had water, and he just kept eating the grass. And I said, fuck it, you're on your own. And I got back into the platoon. And so he died, and he had like a heart attack or something. And I was like, I can't believe he's dead, you know, like he actually died. And I don't know, he had like heat exhaustion or something. It's called a bayonet. It's like a 20-mile road march where you assault a pillbox, and then you know, march back to your barracks after being in the forest for 2 weeks. It's like the culmination of your infantry training. And it's basically how you go kill, you know, enemy positions without killing yourselves in the process. And unfortunately, my platoon failed so badly, and I could tell as we were at the final stages that it was going horrible. There was no leadership, there was no planning, nobody had any foresight, there was no guidance, and we basically all died, and everybody got killed. And the drill sergeants afterwards did an after-action writer review, and their heads were shaking. They were looking at the ground, and they were like, they knew that they had failed. They were like, man, this was a huge failure. And I'm sure they've done it successfully before, but maybe not. I don't know how many times they've been through that cycle. But anyways, we all died, and the jihadists won. So it was because basically we were rushed all the time, and we never really... we never hypnotized the company well, and we never programmed the company well on how to actually conduct the operation once we got to the objective.
Yeah, I think you're really overanalyzing training revolutions, my guy. I did the same thing. I remember going through my training and feeling like, nah, this is not right. We're not properly trained here. We're out of phase. We're not focused enough. What are we doing? Like this is too much chaos here. There's not enough order. But that's the typical mistake made by people who join the military, right? Is they think that any of this is about your attaining perfection or attaining, you know, a high level of capability. No, you are meat shields. The special forces operations and the equipment accomplishes the necessary objectives, and then, as I was unhappy to learn, you just flood the zone. Even the Marine reconnaissance units. I was talking to some of we did a training revolution with them, where I was actually Op 4. I was Red Team, and I was asking them, like, you know, what is your tactical approach to a situation like the one we're setting up? You know, if you're Blue Force. And they said, well, you just flood the zone. Like you literally just send as many guys as you can. And if you can't, you don't assault the position. I was like, what? That, you know, that flies in the face of everything I know. So, yeah, that's the reality of it. They don't expect or care about you. You don't exist in training. You don't exist after training. You are a number. You are a statistic. You're not an individual who they feel some kind of personal commitment to training, to equipping, and to caring for. That's why your uniforms are so fucking cheap. That's why your equipment is so poor. I mean, it's just disgusting. You made a mistake, though. You grow up, they don't care about you. They don't want you to be trained. You didn't die. You're still alive. I distinctly remember doing a training revolution where we were supposed to go on a patrol. And we kind of had an idea, like we were going to be assaulted. They were going to set up an ambush. Like, not a real ambush. This is training, like a training ambush. They were going to have their OPFOR guys who were going to assault us as we were on this patrol. So we're on patrol. It's late. It's getting late. And we're kind of feeling like, all right, here we go. So they did. They started, they're using their training rounds, and the front of the column is taking fire. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is it. Let's fucking go. I'm still motivated, I'm 19 years old. So I take my fire team, and I immediately try to flank. Like, they've got the front of the column pinned. I'm like, all right, so we're going to flank around this left side and do this riverbed. And my squad comes with me. I'm like, let's fucking go. And we're bounding, and we're flanking wide out around the left. We contain it. I'm playing. All the ambushers, we ambush the ambushers. And I'm so fucking proud of myself. My fire team out of those 3 guys with me. Nobody fucking cares. So go ahead and get back in the fucking column. Let's march back. Let's fucking finish this drill now. Good job. You had your trainer. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? Not. It doesn't matter. We just check the fucking box, baby. You don't matter. That's one of the products of a system with a government imprint.
Yeah, I was thinking that there has to be dead money in the system, and it's got to be like probably, I don't know, 50 trillion. Because if there's 200 trillion in stocks and bonds, and then I don't know.
You're not even. Are you even trying to encapsulate the derivative? You can't measure the derivations on the known quantities of money. I mean, come on,
basically if you look at real estate, that's 200 trillion.
Hundreds of billions.
I know, but the total. I've read that the total number of fractional reserve fiat currency in the whole world is like 2 quadrillion globally, and then in the U.S. it's like 1,000 trillion.
I honestly don't believe that the human mind can conceive of the amount of dollar-denominated derivatives.
No, that's not true. The Federal Reserve has it on the books. Like you can actually. Well, look at that chart where you can see that the dollar has gone down in 97% because now you only.
Okay, but I'm going to argue with you, fine, but my assertion is that it is not possible to measure all of the derivatives that exist.
Anyways, you can make calculations. Whatever, dude. You can make calculations.
Yeah, you can make calculations, but when there's no limit, there's no limit. Only the limit of
the velocity of the dollar at usdebtclock.org is the true, actual, real scam rate. Like, that's the scam rate. That's the VIG rate, basically.
Oh, sure, yeah. You know what? You're absolutely right.
Because new money is the only money. All the old, previously existing money doesn't mean anything. It's all the new money, because that's basically, like, what's actually making things happen. Like, it's... Because money is action. These dollar bills have action symbols on them. So I'm just saying at us.clock.org, the velocity of money is the real true number to watch. The speed at which, yeah.
No, that's... So I understand the desire to be attached, tethered to reality, to something tangible, right? I mean, imagine what would actually happen.
That's the hash rate, I guess.
Imagine what would happen if in the hearts and in the minds the reality that the money is imaginary settled. That it was understood that the money is imaginary. There would be chaos. So, there need to be tools. Right? Just like in the military where you're doing this training, you're saying, hey, he died, we all died, he's a casualty, you know, there's a bad training regime, bad. Those guys got promoted. I guarantee you they got promoted. They continued on with their career trajectories, no problem, because you don't get it if you don't understand that it's all imaginary. It's all in your head. You should be the first one to acknowledge this. The money is not real. The money is conceptual.
No, I get it. I've proven that a long time ago because I went on Amazon and I bought a bunch of, Hollywood prop money. And just like having Hollywood prop money around really makes you realize that, all these people who have these big retirement accounts with all these stocks and millions of dollars, like they've never sat around it as cash. And once you sit around it as cash, you realize that it's fake. That it's just printed paper. And so it becomes psychologically scary to realize that you're essentially doing all of this to acquire an art collection, which is not, basically that's what money is. Your $100 bill, your 50, your 20, it's technically a highly printed piece of art that you could frame, but use, in every situation basically. So it's like, it is a big mind fuck. It is like the Matrix type of thing where you realize that it's not about the dollars, it's more about your brain. Like your brain becomes the most valuable thing in your life. And so how do you manipulate your brain to essentially get more of these pieces of artwork? Anyways, that's the way I'm thinking about it. I know he left, but I hope you all are enjoying this bullshit. It's hypnosis, by the way.
Not really.
Well, sorry, Alpha. Would you like me to read something to you? I can provide you with higher value information.
No, thank you. I'm good.
Okay, well, thank you very little.
Thank
You
you
want to say
so
sorry
much.
to her?
Did you say I was being disrespectful to her?
Yeah.
Well, she started it.
She can start whenever.
That's right. What are you feeling, Abby?
Washing my hands.
That's good. It's good to wash your
How's
hands.
Pumpkin doing?
He's good. He got some food, so he's hanging out. I'm just upstairs with the other Rugrats, trying to paint. But how cats are. Like when you start doing something, they want to be all over it. So
Yeah.
they're messing it up. So I have to stop for a second so they can go relax somewhere else before they mess up my painting anymore.
Oh, nice. So you're gonna paint today.
Yeah, I also have to work, but I'm gonna paint first this morning, and then I'm gonna work.
Working from home, or are you gonna go somewhere?
No, I'm working from home.
I mean,
Oh, nice.
Diogenes, I know you left us, but I was saying that essentially everybody, I'll just say it real quick, everybody is working to acquire an art collection known as Federal Reserve notes.
I don't want to acquire anything from your Federal Reserve. I got my Swiss art collection. Oh, I love the Swiss ones. I love the most. We get nicer money and probably more valuable.
Definitely more valuable. The world is slowly trying to individually, as states, extricate themselves from the web of the Federal Reserve.
Let me put it this way. The Federal Reserve is nothing but a hypnosis corporation, and everybody technically all works in hypnosis, and everyone is technically hypnotizing each other to acquire artwork collections known as the Federal Reserve notes. That's the real situation.
And what's the ground base of that?
Well, no. The ground base is people others in their capacity want to have, they're curious, they're intelligent, they're creative, and they're generally cooperative.
No, that's close to the answer, but it's just one word. Communication.
Yes. You know, my name is John. That's Greek for Hermes.
Because
John is the English translation of Greek from Hermes. It was Hermes that baptized that Christ in the Jordan.
Is that true, therapist? I looked this up. Is that true?
Would I lie to friends in an itty-bitty-titty committee?
I think you.
I think.
I'm not making that up. That's accurate.
We're gonna look it up. Does John mean Hermes?
Yeah.
Come on. Why would I make this up? I've read this. I have books on this.
Hermes, the fashion brand?
No.
Well, Hermes, the Greek god of
Communication.
many things.
Communication.
I
Also, peace and
just
pockets.
said all
Yeah, he's kind of the trickster. You know, the story of Hermes is Hermes was born fully grown and immediately set out to trick his older brother Apollo out of his flock. Yeah.
Jesus is also the Egyptian mythological symbol known as Osiris.
And Osiris is also Enki.
I just posted a link for you, Abby.
And I live in a Freemasonic church, and outside my house,
I'm not gonna lie, therapist. I can't find anything that says John means Hermes. It seems like it's it says God is gracious, which I don't think is what I'm not seeing it. Like, if you have a link, I'd be very interested to.
I'm not making this up. You gotta understand that John the...
It's hard for me to call him a liar.
Okay, hold on. The big story is John the Baptist. The big story is John the Baptist. Mythologically speaking or symbolically speaking, what happened to John the Baptist after he gave the grace to the Christ? The Holy Spirit. He got beheaded.
He got arrested by King. I forget his name. Yeah, he got arrested and then.
Beheaded.
Salome.
Salome.
Was like, chop off the head of John the Baptist. He was feeding for pussy. She was like, oh, what are you going to give me? He's like, I'll give you anything. She said, cut that nigga's head off.
And what did St. Patrick do? What did St. Patrick do to all the snakes in Ireland?
Upside down.
What did St. Patrick do to all the snakes in Ireland? He cut their heads off. The whole thing is a metaphor for what? For you. You.
Cop out.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm saying that the secret occult lodges, they teach you that essentially that Hermes Thoth Trismegistus, or the ancient Egyptian magician known as Abramelin or Abraham, essentially it's the power of the word. So this app makes it apparent and obvious that what you think and what you say is you're putting it into the universe, into the ether, and it does work in the same way that a software program or an operating system works. So what you say, and you know the reason why I use this app is because behind the scenes we are all the Wizard of Oz, and what we think and what we say can manifest.
Wow.
I mean, it is so cliche, but I do believe it's true, and it is like The Secret, where if you are driving in a parking lot, say out loud, you are. It's mind control hypnosis, but it's just LARPing. But it's the better. What do you got to lose? This is like, what is that, Occam's razor thing, or where it's better to believe even though it's not real, you know, that kind of a thing. It's just hardcore LARPing. This is what all therapists essentially try to convince their clients to do, is to take up the role of the hero. That's why I asked Issa about her hero's journey. Because everyone here has to be a hero in their own life, you know?
That's not what Occam's razor is.
Yeah, that's not what Occam's razor is. Thank you, dude.
Sorry. Okay, then whatever that thing is where it's some kind of bet or something. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, it doesn't make a difference. My whole point is the tradition of Hermes, the Egyptian magician. It all has to do with communication and essentially, mind control hypnosis. I mean, do you know what the pyramid symbolically represents? It represents you, Y-O-U. They built themselves geometrically, and they built those 3 pyramids. And the 3 of them together is the man and the woman embraced, and then the child, the third, the spirit, the baby, the eon of the new child, or something like that. I think that George W. Bush and all these high-level, super rich people, I don't even think they really understand all this, but for some reason, they're mirroring what's happening in the occult literature. And there must be a secret society. There has to be.
I think it's just a much easier. The human nature is very consistent. Civilization is an elaborate, colorful, seemingly very thing, but it really is just human beings, very horny human beings dealing with their limited existence.
Yes, that's true, but I do think that global Freemasonry definitely is playing a hidden hand in many things.
What was Skull and Bones?
Skull and Bones, most of all, yeah. I mean, I used to work for Steve Mnuchin, a former Treasury Secretary and chairman of Sears Kmart and many other corporations. And Steve Mnuchin is one, he doesn't fuck around. He does not fuck around. He's so professional, and cordial and nice. But it's always that thing, give respect, get respect. But Eddie Lampert, he's also a Skull and Bonesman who I used to work for. And they kidnapped him. And I think it was Skull and Bonesman that kidnapped him. And he paid a ransom. But that's why I say that the secret society is a fraternity. I mean, it's got to be the biggest and the baddest. Skull and Bones has to be because their roster has some of the richest people on the planet. Let alone fucking George W. Bush, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely several different societies that are unknown to us. Some who are unknown to us invariably because they intend to be unknown, and those because we just don't share the same air.
Have you seen the movie For Whom the Bell Tolls?
No.
Let me get the
I think
link.
I read the book.
It's about a secret society, and they're like the richest, secret society. But it's For Whom the Bell Tolls. I'll get the link for you. It's a trip, but if you're Skull,
Anyway, I'll look it up.
Have you seen interviews with Skull and Bonesman alumni? Talking about the society.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have, glowing reviews.
Yeah, it is Ernest Hemingway, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And that was not the book I read. I read Farewell to Arms. Well, it all comes back down to willingly choosing, once you've been made aware of the falsity of your money, to continue to be a debt slave. And you are a slave. You will pay your taxes. You will allow the government to take whatever it deems necessary or appropriate from you.
Not therapist. He's not going to pay his tax.
Is he not going to pay his taxes? Oh, shit.
Please, Mr. Bobadilla, don't put words in my mouth or I'll put my foot in yours.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not too much.
That is not nice.
This is not a courtroom, and I don't have to show the candor. I've already brought my flowers. All right, I posted the link to the movie For Whom the Bell Tolls if you want to see about the secret society and how it really works. Supposedly, this movie was like shadow banned when it came out because they didn't want the public to see it. And I read about this in a Reddit thread once. I never forgot it, and it's a great movie. I hope you enjoy it.
That's what much about you, therapist.
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
check the movie out.
it's very good. I mean, I think you're really gonna really like this movie. It's very well done, and the people who made the movie,
I would read the book. If there's a book and a movie, you gotta read the book.
Okay,
So
whatever.
I'll read the.
Don't disrespect these actors, the producers, the people who spent their money to make this movie and didn't make their money back.
Probably left out.
Here we go again. Listen, I'm so sick of all the Jew haters on this app. They are so pathetic in their own personal lives that it's shameful. Like, be free, you know? I mean, there's a lot of Jew haters on here.
Am I hating on the Jews when I point out that there's clearly an agenda at work here? You know, and even if the agenda was only to create an increasing willingness to go along and be complicit with this debt money system that they've incorporated all over the world.
Oh, you think the state of Israel is the prima facie for the fiat currency system? You're insane. It's the Jekyll Island.
No, I don't.
It's Americans that did this.
I think by and large, the propensity for greed.
Listen, a lot of these Jew haters, they got nothing but sour grapes. That's the whole thing. You don't have a second country. You don't have a second country. A lot of these Jew haters got sour grapes. They don't have a Switzerland.
I don't have a first country, therapist.
There you go, sour grapes.
For Whom the Bell Tolls is a novel by Ernest Hemingway published in 1940. It tells the story of Robert Jordan, a young American volunteer attached to a Republican guerrilla unit during the Spanish
No, dude, that is not the movie that I am talking about. You were talking about Hemingway's journey when he was a soldier. He wrote the book about himself, basically. Please, watch the link that I posted, and you will see the true secret society in America that runs this country.
Where was the movie produced?
Look at the fucking link and shut your fucking mouth.
I'm not looking at your link now.
Then fuck off! And don't waste my time, you fucker. Go deal with your 8 children and your bastards elsewhere, you son of a bitch.
But I agree with Edmund saying that before is a good thing.
Okay, so For Whom the Bell Tolls, film 1943, is based on Hemingway's novel. For Whom the Bell Tolls painting by Jean Perret. For Whom the Bell Tolls, a manga in one piece. Oh, dude.